Hey traders from around the world, welcome to the Wall of Knowledge. It's your boy Jeremy Alexander Newsome with RealLifeTrading.com. I hope you're doing phenomenal. So in this particular webinar, I'm going to be discussing how to day trade with less than $25,000. For those who are here in the United States, you know that is an SEC rule that you have to have at least $25,000 in a margin account in order to day trade. Now, this won't be like a presentation as far as PowerPoints and bullets and slide. It's gonna be more of a Q&A, kind of like a flow, slow roll. Hey, what's everyone thinking about X, Y, and Z? I'll be answering questions, and at most, I'll be discussing the opportunity for anyone who's interested to trade through the hedge fund that I am partnered with. So, make sure to watch this entire video. There's a lot of questions. You probably watched the one above with me and Ashley, and we were chatting about this whole process and procedure. And in this particular video, you'll see that a lot of traders have the exact same question. So don't feel dumb. If you got a question, fantastic. So one of the best things that you can do is not be afraid to ask questions. If you want to make more money, if you want to grow your bank account, you must grow yourself. Let's do that together in this webinar and answer a lot of questions and learn a lot of stuff. You rock. Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, this is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, keenly awaited, highly anticipated edition of How to Day Trade with less than $25,000. Folks from around the world, what's going on? Jose, my man, how are you? Jose is pumped. Granga's in the building. Thanks so much for sharing the link to this webinar, Granga. You're amazing. Andy Richardson's in the building. Andrew Johnson's here. Brett, what's up, Brett? Brad, Brian, Charles Marsh, Darren Isaac, Mr. Donnie Baldwin himself, Eddie Burrell, Gary Garrett, what's up, my man? How's Texas treating you? Gene, Phillip, Joe Blackburn, Troy Beinhauer. Oh man, this is a real party now. Yvonne Noble and Troy are in the same room. I love it. Folks, thanks so much for being here. There's a lot of cool information to cover tonight, and I want to be very upfront, let you all know that there's no PowerPoint. It's very kind of just flow with the go. You and I, we chat, we talk, I answer questions, and we just really dive into a very open, kind of a Q&A type of approach, and just kind of discuss a few ways to day trade with less than $25,000. It's not going to be just one. Right, I will present a few opportunities for you, a few other avenues, and I just want you all to know that there is more than one way to do it. Tons of ways to approach it. You all know that at RealLifeTrading.com I do teach you how to trade, day trade for free. You can click on the free button, click on the day trade. You can also email me with any questions you have about day trading. I really do my absolute best to educate you. Just know that there are other tools available out there. So first and foremost, day trading. We're talking about in and out the same day, right? What I wanted to discuss initially is a tool that very few people know how to effectively use. And that was kind of the main goal of this program and to this video recording and discussion is to discuss a little known secret that's hidden under this tab right here called Premium. What I want to do is discuss the professional trading package that Real Life Trading offers, just to make sure we're all comfortable with what it is, how it works, and again, I'm going to be answering a lot of questions about this, because here's the bottom line. In business and in investing and marketing and buying a house or buying a car, most people use something called OPM, which is other people's money. What I want to do is just describe what this is, and then I know there's a lot of questions, which is fantastic. I'll be here to answer them. I already got a list of about 20 that a few of you have emailed me once you know what this program or what this webinar was about. And it's just going to be me going through a bunch of questions and answers. But what I want to describe is what this is right here. The professional trading package, I was able to link up with another company that I'm not a partner with at all. I'm just an affiliate. And I partnered with this particular company and hedge fund that is based in Michigan, and we'll talk more about that later, that offers people the opportunity to day trade using OPM, and that ability is accessed through this particular package, this professional trading package. This is just the landing page, if you will, that you're on right now. When you're in this landing page, you have to kind of sign in. And when you sign in, this is what it looks like when you sign in. So I'm going to sign in with an account that does not have access to this. So I'm going to sign in with my non-purchased email. So, oops, hold on one second. What was my password for this? Password, Jose Sierra is awesome. I think that's the password. It is. Okay. So this is what it looks like if you've never purchased anything at Real Life Trading. You just signed up. You're brand new. All of these will be blanked out, which is fine. So if you click on the professional trading package, this is what you're going to get. This is what we're going to come to. And you'll notice right now is $25.75. That's the purchase price for this particular package. You get a bunch of different classes. You get a lot that's included with that. But let me tell you what's the real kicker. As you all know, at least for traders here in the United States of America, there's only a few ways around the SEC regulation that requires you to need $25,000 or more in a margin account. So if you have a margin account and you're trading through whatever broker it is, it does not matter. If you're in the US and you have less than $25,000 in a margin account, if you take more than 3 trades in a 5-day period, 3 round trips, that's a buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, you will be flagged as a pattern day trader and your account will be frozen. Simple as that. Right? Jose said I did that. Yeah, I definitely have done that before. When I was first learning way back when. This has been around since the .com era, 2000, so it's been about 20 years. And it can happen very easily. Even if you don't want to day trade and you're in 3 or 4 swing trades and you buy them and then some crazy volatility happens and you get stopped out on all of them at the same time, that's 3 trades or 4 trades or 5 trades in that short-term time frame. Your account can get frozen. Your funds can get frozen for 90 days or 120 days or a year, it depends. So this is, as I mentioned, only for US citizens, right? What I'm referring to right now. This is for US citizens. So this rule does not apply if you live in Canada or England, Australia. There's other rules. So this is just purely Securities Exchange Commission rule for US traders if you have a margin account. And you all have probably experienced this. Type in a 1 if you have run into the pattern day trading thing at some point in your trading tenure, right? Even if you have more money, you might have just run into it. You can have a big account, maybe you have like 16 grand or 22 grand, you can still get flagged. So what's cool about this particular program is this gives you access to trade through a hedge fund that will allocate for you $30,000 of allocated funds to day trade with. This is the ability for you to use OPM, other people's money. When you're buying a house, right, you go to the bank or wherever you're going, you get a loan for whatever you're trying to buy, and you're using other people's money. You don't care whose money it is. You just get the loan. You have to fill out the requirements, which there are requirements that you'll need to fill out through all this, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I'm going to be focusing on a lot of clearing up any questions that you all might have about this particular platform. This is the nuts and bolts. You pay $25.75, you get $30,000 of allocated funds to day trade with. That's the basic component of this. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't have other accounts open. I've actually had 2 or 3 traders join who've had over 100,000 plus. And what they wanted to do is leverage this money over here, take this money, day trade with it, okay? And they still have 98,000 or 97,000, whatever the math is, 97 grand, They still have money over there that they can swing trade with or do options or do whatever else, but they want to take some of that money and leverage the actual day trading. So now you can have 2 accounts and focus on day trading for one and swing trading on another. Leonardo, already with the first question, he goes, do you have to trade at a specific trade platform? Great question. Yes. So the hedge fund has its own separate broker. We'll talk more about that in just a moment, but we can start answering these questions. It has its own separate broker. It's an entirely different thing, so you cannot go to Charles Schwab or E-Trade or Fidelity or Interactive Brokers. This is an entirely separate platform. And you'll get access to all of that once you purchase, sign up, you take a test, which we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. You take a test, I send you a certification letter, I give you to the onboarding team, they give you all the information, so on and so forth. Now, you are able to get a trial for this. So we'll just talk about that out the gate. If you're like, I would like to know, how this works, we can give you a trial. It's a 2-week trial. There's a little bit of a waiting room period for it, so just throw that out there. Just like most brokers or charting platforms or systems, the free virtual fake version is not as good as the real one because it doesn't need to be. The third thing that I wanted to bring up is this number is going up March 1st. This number right here. And that's another reason why I want to bring this up. This number has been the exact same way for 3 years, but there's other costs now associated with onboarding, and there's just some other things that we need to cover. So for a while I was buying the bullet for a lot of it, but this is going to go up to $2,995. So by the time you might be watching this recording, if it's past March 1st, 2018, which is a big day for me, if it passes that, that's how much it's going to cost to get into the hedge fund program, which is still very fair. Most trading platforms by themselves, right? Most educators will sell their trading package or their courses or whatever for $29.95, and that's it. You don't get anything. So I'm saying for this particular program, you will get access to the ability to day trade with $30,000 of additional funds, allocated funds to trade with. Joel said, is it unlimited tests? Yes, you can take the test as many times as you need to. I wrote the test. So once you purchase it, you'll be taken to a page exactly like this. You'll have the password for all the videos, and then you'll have the ability to take the test. There'll be a link right here. It's only 85 questions long. I wrote the whole thing. It's not very difficult. So yeah, you can take the test as many times as you need to. Fareed says, how do we make money using OPM, other people's money? Just by day trading, Fareed. So if you sign up and you start trading, right? You start trading with $30,000. So let's say that you take a trade on, I don't know, Walmart, and you short 100 shares at 92 and it goes down to 91. 100 shares of Walmart would cost you $9,200 to short. It goes down to $91. You buy to cover. You get the difference of the spread minus the commission, so you made 100 bucks. I mean, again, it's day trading, but you're just using OPM rather than your money. BW and Ian asked the same question. What are the profits? So I like this. Again, that's the point of this class. Is a very free-flowing, just open-end Q&A. I do have a lot of other questions written down that I will get to as well. But the hedge fund is here to make money. You guys all know that. It's cool. Let's get that out the way. It's a business, not a charity. So all hedge funds are in it to make money. Right? We all know this. All hedge funds are in it to make money. There are 3 ways this fund makes money through this program. Number 1 is the split. There is a split. What do you guys think it is? What do you guys think the split is? Joel says, if you pass the test, how soon do you get OPM? Is it there? 4,000 cost to trade 100. Re-ask that question, Joel. I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but I'll be happy to re-answer. The split is 90% yours, 10% theirs. 90-10. 90-10. So that's the split. Now, let's keep in mind that you only get the 10% on what you withdraw. Right? Only on what you withdraw, not what you keep in the account. So remember, you start with a $30,000 fund, and Donnie, we're going to get to that. So you start with $30,000 of allocated funds to day trade with. Okay? And if you go up to 33, okay, you have a net gain of $3,000. We can all do that math together. You have a net gain of $3,000. All is cool. How exciting. How wonderful. Secondly, if you pull out $1,000, you have a net difference of $2,000. So $2,000 would stay in the account. You guys follow me so far? When you withdraw this $1,000, this is the money that gets the 10%, 90% split. So the fund would keep $100. You keep $900. It's wired into your account. There's no wire fees from the fund. All right, there's no wire fees from the fund. Your bank will probably charge wire fees, but that's just banking, right? Hashtag Bitcoin. But you're going to be paying the wire fees regardless. So it's pretty fast transfer. It takes about less than 24 hours. You can withdraw up to 2 times a month if you want to. It's up to you. So you can withdraw twice a month. That's a question that we get very often. You can withdraw up to 2 times per month. Now, I want to immediately, man, I do want to talk about the risks almost immediately, but that's okay. Let's talk about this. Number 2, how the other part, the hedge fund, makes money. Number 2 is, well, there's something called a maintenance fee. Maintenance fee. Maintenance fee. This is the big one. This is the one that you really want to care about. Right? The maintenance fee is the big one. It's $11 per day. Most places you will call that a platform fee. It's $11 a day. Now, before you wig out, it's really not that much money, number 1. Okay, that's a burrito at Moe's once a day. So it's not that much. But number 2, that $11 is waived or can be waived anytime you make more than $100. So if you make more than $100, you can get this $11 fee waived. The reason, it's a very small incentive that if you are up and you are profitable, lock it in. Right? Lock it in. So if you have 100, if you're up, how many times have we all done this? Where it's 9:58 in the morning, the market's been open, 28 minutes, you're up $110, and you're like, what should I do? You get bored, you take a trade, and you go into the negative, right? This is an incentive that if you're up, lock in your profit, your account will actually get frozen for the day. It will get frozen for the day. So you can't trade anymore. I mean, what other broker does that? Literally forcing you to trade your plan. It's amazing. And then you go back in and do it again the next day. Now, if you make $200 or more, you actually get a $11 rebate. So $11 comes back to you guys. I know that's not a lot of money. This is literally just an incentive to waive the fee and to lock in your profits. So pretty much the more you make, you can get a 10% kickback if you were profitable for the day over $100. Okay, so meaning if you go up to if you make $500, that's the cutoff for the incentive. If you make 500 buckaroonies in a day, go in, you email the team, they will rebate you $50, which is again like a 10% kickback, and they say, hey, thanks, great job trading, you're done for the day. Vincent says, are you required to do a certain number of trades per week or per month? I can assume you can only trade long. I assume you can trade long or short. Yep, you can trade long or short. Absolutely. And there is no amount of trades required. Right? There's no amount of trades. So you can trade as much or as little as you want. You obviously cannot trade options. This is only stocks, and this is only for day trading. Right? Because think about it, guys. Options are already leveraged. They're already leveraged. So we'll talk a little bit about the options in a bit, because you can day trade with options if you have a small account, right? That is another way to day trade with less than 25 grand. We'll talk about that in a bit. Make sure I talk about that, okay? Don't let me stray away too far. But yes, you can only trade stocks, so not futures, not Forex, not options, stocks. Day in, day out. Buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. Okay? AP says, are there borrows? Yes, there are borrows. If you have a hard time finding a borrow or finding a locate to short shares, AP, you can email the team before the market opens, and they can help you find. They can help you borrow them. So they have a really good borrow team that actually stands by. That's kind of where the $11 maintenance fee comes from. Gronga says, under what conditions might a trader be booted from the fund? Asking for a friend. Let's talk worst case scenario. All right. What do you guys think the absolute worst case scenario is? Because here's what Donnie was asking. And this is a very important question. I want to get it out very soon. What is the worst case scenario? Some people are saying you're losing 30,000. No, 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 no. You lose this. This is your entrance fee. That is your worst case scenario. That is your worst case. The $11, part of that goes to a risk management team. And you will have someone, you will have an account representative, if you will, that keeps track of your losses. And if you lose too much per day, you will get frozen. What other broker will do that? Pretty much none of them. You could log into Charles Schwab with 100 grand, lose it all in a day, and you wouldn't get a phone call. Right? So the next day, all right, if you're frozen for one day because you lost too much, they'll email you and say, hey, you're frozen for the day. Come back and try again tomorrow. And then the next day, it'll be unfrozen. All right, so that'll happen. When you first enter the fund, very first day, your maximum is $500 per day. I suggest decreasing that number. All right, so that's what you start off with initially. You start off with the ability to lose $500 a day. I suggest lowering that down to 100 or 50 or whatever you want it to be. And secondly, the absolute most you can lose in the fund to verify and make sure, okay, to verify and make sure that you don't go, this is a very important part, folks, to verify and make sure that you don't owe anyone any other money, or you don't own or owe anyone anything scary, is 2 grand is the absolute max you can lose within the fund. Meaning, if you take the account from 30,000 to 28,000, your account is frozen, you are shut off, and you have blown up your account. Good try. Now, obviously, if you're doing the math, that's only 2 grand. There's a spread in there, right? That spread, other way the hedge fund makes money. Keep in mind of programs like this all across the internet will go anywhere between $6,000 and $12,000. Okay, where they say, hey, we'll give you access to the hedge fund. We'll give you a bunch of classes. You can learn all this stuff. Here you go, buy it, 6 grand, and you'll get into the fund. So I'm just letting you know, there's plenty of other companies out there you can do the exact same thing. I'm not the only one. I just charge an insanely low amount because that's what real life trading is about, right? Sherry Stafford says, so the $25.75 paid for this training is our maximum we're investing into this. Correct. Yep. So that's a big takeaway. Now again, that premium, that value will go up March 1st, 2018. And you all know I'm a man of my word. When I say my prices are going to go up, they go higher. So that's why I want to give you about a week and a half of notice. If anyone's interested in doing this, $25.75, save yourself $400. AP says, is that realized or unrealized 2K? It's a very good question because it comes down to negative equity. So let me explain what negative and positive equity is just to make sure we're all clear. So you start with 30,000. Let's say you go up to 34,000. So you've made 4 grand. Feeling pretty good, right? If you lose positive equity, AP, you realize or unrealized, it doesn't matter, down to 32,000, do you get kicked out and frozen from the fund? Yes or no? No. No, because you lost positive equity. Everything is fine, no big deal. You might get a phone call. Hey man, you just lost $2,000. What's up? You all right? Feeling okay? You having a bad day? You might get a phone call, maybe a text message from me or something like, hey, what's up? You all right? Hungover? But you'll still be in the fund. Everything is fine. Okay. Now you can lose positive equity all day long, right? That's your money, so you can lose as much as your money as you want. I suggest not doing that, right? So if you make $4,000, I would suggest pulling out all 4 of that 1,000, paying yourself back, right, and then starting from ground zero again. That's what I would suggest all of you do. Anyone who wants to take part of this. So that's really what that means, AP, is it's not a realized or unrealized. It's all about positive or negative equity. Because, again, if you have too much of an unrealized loss, right, if you are exceeding your max loss for the day, you will get frozen. Realized or unrealized, if you are down like $600 on a trade and your max loss is $590, or whatever you put it at, then you're going to get frozen. Sybil says, if you can only do 3 trades per week, you are charged $11 for the days you cannot trade. Correct. Yep, so that's how the fund makes money. The fund's going to charge you that money regardless if you trade or not. So somebody was asking earlier, do you have to trade? The answer is no. But you're gonna get charged $11 regardless if you trade or not. And so if you can trade, cool, and if you don't worry about it. Garanga with the great question. I'll do my best to answer that. She says, 2 of them. I thought I heard that there was some kind of automatic stop in the platform that wouldn't allow you to lose more than a specific R value or something like that. Yep, that is correct. That's what I was been mentioning earlier. Absolutely. So you get to specify the amount of money that you're willing to lose per day, and you can get cut off if you lose more than that. You get to determine how much that money is. What happens in the event that the fund closes because of death, illness, sexual harassment, lawsuit, etc.? So the fund is, to my knowledge, an LP, a limited partnership. So it would have to, each partner, all of them would have to be, would have to have something happen to that. Every single one. So in discussion of that, let's make sure that we're clear on this particular topic, because I think this is an obvious thing. If you take your 2575 and you buy into the program, 7 days go by, you get scared, a life change happens, whatever, and you need to get a refund, cool. No problem. All right? No worries. If you go into the fund and you start trading, that's it. There's nothing else you can do. Once you start trading, there is no refunds. You can't get your money out, except for whatever you make. That's obvious, right? If you open up an account with Charles Schwab, you put in 30 grand, you lose 2, they're not going to give you a refund. Does that make sense, folks? So just want to be very clear about that. If you put your money into the account and you start trading, you can't just go ask for a refund now because you lost some money. It doesn't work that way. All right, or if you want a refund, I'll make you a deal. You give me $30,000 and I'll give you $25.75. It's the same thing. If you go buy a house and you spend 160 grand on a house, and you buy a $106,000 house and the house goes down in value, you can't go back to the bank and say, hey, I made a bad investment. They'll give you the money back, right? This is business. So be smart. Don't risk money that you can't afford to lose. You guys get the point. All that good stuff. Bruno said, how to terminate if you don't trade anymore? How's the settlement? So you would settle up your positive equity. You would email the onboarding team. You'll have tons of contacts, Bruno, and information, and ways to contact the team. That won't ever be a problem. But let's say you have a $31,000 balance and you want to terminate your account and you're done. Email the team. You'll get your 1,000 out because again, you started with 30. That's your plus your skin in the game. So if you want to terminate at any point, if you're above 30, you'll get that withdrawal. Your account will be closed, and there you go. Adam says, "What if you can't pass the test?" You will, but if you can't, then I'll just refund you. If you take the test 15 times and you can't pass it, you shouldn't be day trading anyway. So I'll just give you your money back. Just being really honest, man. You can't pass that test, you should not be day trading. Great questions. Let's keep them rolling. Michael says $1, $11 a week or $11 a work week. It's $11 per calendar day. Per calendar day, Monday through Monday. Your birthday, Jesus' birthday. $11 a day. When I first started, right, you all know the story. I blew up my account like 2 or 3 times. 3 times, not 2 or 3. I'm trying to be. It was 3 times. 2 or 3 times. No, it was 3. Because the $11, you know, the platform fee, that can add up. But what mostly happened is it had nothing to do with the platform fee. That's just an excuse. It comes down to your trading, right? So remember, folks, listen, I want to be really open and honest about this. If you can't day trade, this isn't going to help you, right? If you don't know how to day trade, this is not going to help. If you have an idea of how to day trade, you want to learn how to day trade, you've practiced day trading, you want to get better at day trading. Let's say you have $40,000 and you don't want to put that money at risk, so you only want to risk $25.75. Cool. Bottom line is, this is not going to make you a better day trader. This is going to give you the funds that you do not have or that you want in order to day trade. Did that make sense? Type in a yes if that makes sense. AP says, is it a $30,000 margin account or cash account? If margin account, what is the margin? So AP, I don't know if you're understanding, and I apologize if you're not. $25.75 is your money. That's your money, right? That's how much you put in. You're getting up to $30,000, and again, this is initial allocated funds to day trade with. Everything in between that is called margin, leverage, lending. Whatever you want to call it. That is OPM, my man. Other people's money. So you're not putting in $25.75 and then putting in another $27,000 to get 30. Okay? So here's the cool news. And Ryan is bringing this up. What if you do well, ladies and gentlemen? What if you actually do well on this? Because Bruno's getting it. Bruno's getting it. What if you do well on this? This 30,000 is just the start. So the goal is, if you trade well, let's say you bump up your positive equity to 33,000, and you got $3,000 of additional equity, right? That extra 3,000 is your money. You made it. If you want to get bumped up to a higher level of funds to trade with, you can do that. Because now you have an additional 3,000, right? You can get it up to about 60. Right? And if you have 60, let's say you take 60 and you turn that into 66,000 and you want more funds to trade with, cool. So far you have $9,000 of positive equity. You can get up to about 150K with that, approximately. You take 150K, you make 10 grand with that. Now you have $19,000 of positive equity. You can pretty much have $250,000 of allocated funds to day trade with. Karanka says, how much does the fund currently have? Enough. Desiree said, how many trades can you do per day? As many as you want. Totally up to you. Kenneth says, the $11 a day is $330 a month, paid monthly. Paid from where? It's paid daily and it comes right out of your account balance, Ken, so you don't have to do anything. So let's say the very, very, very first day you trade, you start with 30,000. You make a trade on Walmart and you make 200 bucks, the next day's balance, you would be at 30,000. Well, technically if you made 200 and you called in and got a rebate, your account would be 30,211 bucks. Because you could waive the 11 and get the $11 rebate. JB says, what platform would we be using? It's their own platform. So you're going to get an entire separate platform that you're going to have to download on a PC. So let's talk a little bit about some of these questions. There's some great questions coming in. It's fantastic. Desiree said, when do you get the $11 rebate? You would get it. You just have to email them before 3:30 p.m. Eastern in order to get that. So let me just go through some of these questions that were just emailed so that I can get that done. And we're going to continue to sit here and just do Q&As. You guys are asking great questions. So I had one trader pretty much asking, so number one, if 90% of the profits are made through the hedge fund or yours, at what point can you claim 100%? None. Can't do it. That's how the fund makes money. So you just keep making 90% and you're good to go. Number two, this trader was saying, because I'm in the research phase and haven't actually traded yet, I'm still fuzzy on the details of the trading account. How are profits taxed? Only on what's drawn on my account. Yes, profits are only taxed based on what you withdraw, and you are sent a 1099, a contractor. Many of you have used that before, I'm sure, in your business acumen in the past. So you can do that. If you lived in Peru or Canada, you can get a contractor 1099 from the US, and it's up to you to claim that or not. Right? That's how 1099 works. As a contractor, and I've been a contractor many times, you get the contractor and you get to determine if you want to file it or not. It's up to you. I suggest you should. Taxes are good. But anyway, that's how you pay taxes on this based on what you withdraw. After I establish my account and begin trading through the hedge fund, should I continue to save my money and put it towards growing my trading account and increasing my R? Or should I leave the account as it is and use profits gained to increase the account total? Phenomenal question. Phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. It's more of a trading psychology question, really. But what I would stipulate is I personally believe in rewarding myself. So for me, what I initially did is my whole goal, when I really realized what my problem in trading was, which was, it was me, I wanted to make $11 a day. That was my goal. That was literally it, 11 bucks a day. Can I beat the platform fee? So let's say on a given week, you make $11 5 times a week, so you're going to pay it twice on the weekend, and you make, again, 20 bucks or $28 or whatever. You don't have to trade a lot. It's all about risk. That's just trading in general, right? It's all about risk. So if I was up 20 bucks on a trade, I would get out and think highly and heavily if I was going to take a second trade that day. I usually did not. I was up 20, I'd pay the 11 bucks, I would make $8. It's a lot of work for $8. I get that. That's why this is called real life trading. I'm not here to tell you that you're going to make $100,000 in a year. Why am I not going to tell you that? Because you won't. The vast majority of traders will not make $100,000 a year. It just won't happen. That's like saying I'm going to make $100,000 learning how to play soccer just because Jose knows how to play soccer, or Desiree, or Sherry, or Donnie. Just because you can teach me something, if I'm brand new at it, I'm not going to be making a professional amount of money immediately. It just doesn't work that way in any business. So I'm not going to tell you you're making $100,000 a year. I'm going to tell you that you can eventually make that much, sure. No problem. Once you hit the 100,000 mark of allocated funds to day trade with, your life can be changing. Your life can change. That's a huge amount of money. That's so solid. Garanga and Drake are both asking about commission. So that was the third way they make quote-unquote money. I'm actually trying to remember if there's actually a third way. They don't have a broker-dealer license, so they do not take money on the spread. So commissions are only $3, I believe $3.70 or $3.90 per 1,000 shares. So that's the commission. It's a pro and a con. Now, a lot of you probably now know why I trade a lot of the higher price stocks. Because if I trade 500 shares on Apple, and then I sell those 500 shares on Apple, my entire cost basis commission will be $3.70. If I buy 100 shares and sell 100 shares, that's 200 shares. My commission would be 20% of this, which is 60 cents or something. So it's very inexpensive. But it can get more expensive if you traded a lot of shares. Right? So if you trade often, if you trade tons, if you buy 40,000 shares and sell 40,000 shares, yeah, your commission's going to be worth it, very high, and it probably won't be worth it to go through this program. More than likely. If you are a very, very, very high volume trader, like you trade 1 million shares a day or something, this is not for you. There are other platforms out there that can offer you volume size rebates. And if you're trading that much liquidity in a day, you're not listening to this webinar. You're not here if you're trading 1 million shares a day. There's other programs out there for that where you can actually get paid for liquidity and all that kind of good stuff. So back to the answer, I suggest pulling out some money every single month to pay yourself. For a while, for me, it was a steady grind, right? While I worked and only day traded. That's all I did, and I pulled out about 100 extra bucks a month. That is the literal basis, and I think now you guys maybe know why it's called Retire on 3K. Right? Retire on 3K. That's the ebook. So you can, for less than $3,000, you have access to $30,000. And with $30,000, you can make a dent in your finances if you focus on the risk mitigation principles and you do proper trading. So remember, this is not a magic bullet. This is not going to make you a better trader. I would never lie to you folks, okay? But this will give you leverage or the ability or the opportunity to access capital you didn't think was there. So let's go back to this gentleman's question. After I establish my account and begin trading through the hedge fund, should I continue to save money? I already answered that one. When establishing my R, is it based on the total account, including or excluding margin, 3,000 or 30,000? It's entirely up to you. So your R is up to you. If you want to make your R 600 bucks based on the 30,000, again, as I mentioned, $500 is your daily max limit when you first start. My friends, just try to make it longer than 3 months. I have a few traders who'll come in, they'll be gunslingers, they think they know all about trading, and they'll realize very quickly that if you lose $500 twice, if you lose $500 4 times, that's $2,000, and if you lose your $2,000, you're done. Right? You can do that in 4 days. I wouldn't suggest it. So start off slow. It can go as high as you want to go, up to $250,000 of allocated fund. That is plenty of day trading power. I have literally only run out of buying power issues with $250,000 like 7 times last year. I think 2 of them were on Costco. So the maximum is $250,000. Yep, that's the highest it can go. Bruno says, can you come back if you pay another 3? Yes, you can come back. So let's say you blow out your account, you lose your 2,000, you go from 30 to 28 or 27,950 or whatever it is, right at that $2,000 mark. They don't pinch pennies, but you guys get the point, right? If that's $2,000-ish equity loss, there's no black permanent mark on your credit score, on your record. I don't fine you. There's no problems of any magnitude that you need to concern yourselves with. You literally get frozen, and if you want, you can just re-hop back up and you can purchase again and take the test again and go through the whole process again. Troy said, do you take Bitcoin for payment? Email me and I will chat with you about that. I don't know exactly how that would work for the hedge fund, but I can make it work. Another trader say, what are the pros and cons of becoming a full-time trader? Let's talk about that one a little bit later. I'm going to scroll up on that one in a second. So these are, again, are some questions I got emailed yesterday. So we've already covered some of these, but I'll just re-answer them. Is there charting software included? It does come with a charting software. It's not very good, so I wouldn't really use it. Can I trade options and commodities? No. Would I be rushed into it if I haven't completely learned how to trade options yet? No, because you can't trade options. Is there time limits for the course or in the course? No. What are the prerequisites you suggested before getting in? Prerequisites would be going through the day trading program and knowing how to day trade. At least having a general idea and an assumption of how day trading works. I have day trading courses all throughout the internet. I have some on Udemy, I have some on Real Life Trading, YouTube, other websites. So plenty of prerequisites out there. I would say at least bottom of the barrel, go through my day trading classes. Any computer requirements, it only works on a PC. It does not work on a Mac. I know Sherry asked that earlier and I'm pretty sure I answered it, but it only works on a PC. So I would not suggest getting parallels. I do not trade parallels or trade on parallels. I initially, years ago, just went out and bought a regular old Toshiba and threw it on there, and that was my trading computer. So right now I have another PC. If you ever come to my trading office, I got a Mac and then a PC. My Mac is my software, recording, video platform, and then the PC is the trading platform. Most, programs work better on PCs anyway. So, $30,000 is what we get to trade with. Is there any margin on top of that? That is the margin, right? When you first start out, that is the margin, but it can go higher the better that you do. And those are all the questions. That was it. So, let's keep going. What other questions do you have? Mr. Wynn says, am I limited to the type of stocks I can trade? Only blue chips, or can I trade stocks under 10 bucks? You can trade whatever you want. Doesn't matter. AP says, can we pay more to get more margin? Yes. Can we choose routes? Yes, you can do both of those things. What else we got? Any other questions? This is going good so far. I still would like to talk about other ways to day trade less than 25 million, or 25 million. Let's dream 25,000, but I'd be happy to answer any of those. Grunk says, I asked earlier about traders and asking about their experience, both good and not so good. Can you re-ask that if you don't mind, please? And I will be happy to answer it. I just don't know exactly where it is. Gary Wiggins says, in your 150K example, do you have to start with the 25.75 or can you start with 9K to get $150,000 buying power? Great question, Gary. Very similar to the gentleman asked earlier. You can start with more. Yes, you can start with more. If you want to do that, email me directly because I'd have to work out something directly with the fund to make sure that can happen. I mean, I'm not sure. Not make sure it can happen. I know it can happen for a fact. I just make sure that the avenues and everything are correctly established. So, yes, bottom line, you can start with more and get more. Ken says, did the $11 start when we sign up or when we qualify and pass the test? Neither. It actually starts when you place your first trade. Very good question, Mr. Cole, but it only starts when you place your first trade. So when you're going through the program, you're not doing any type of trading. There's no fees attached to that. That is only when you start trading. Leonardo says, this does not include your morning room or afternoon trading room. Great question, Leonardo, and that is the answer is no. However, the reason I do this is because most traders would come to me and say, hey, Jeremy, 5 years ago, they say, Newsom, I only got 25.75 or whatever it is. I got $3,000. I can't day trade. I can't be a part of your room. Right? And so I would go, that's baloney. Of course you can. Here's an opportunity or a route that you can go down. So the main reason I do this, Leonardo, is so that traders have now zero monetary excuse. If you don't have 40 grand or 4 grand, you can still day trade and you can be a part of the trading room in addition to this, and you have money to trade with at that point. Bruce says, how much per day to break even? 11 bucks per day. We'll cover $20 a day. $20 a day will do it. $20 a day for 5 days in a row. Sherry says, ClickFund, I heard there are problems with people not being able to get their money out. Can you explain? Plenty. Very easy. No problem. So Sherry, what happens? It's very easy. Remember, this is your skin in the game. This is what you are buying into with, right? What happens all the time, Sherry, is traders will go in, they'll get their 30,000, they'll trade for a month, they'll go down to 29,000, and they want their money back. It doesn't work that way. There are no refunds once you start trading. Simple as that. That's what people get upset about. And I mean, there's nothing you can. I wish the stock market gave refunds, right? I'm sorry, but it just doesn't occur. So yeah, once you're in, you're in. There is no refunds. There's no pulling out. Once you are trading, and once you've started, there is no way to take that money out. The only way to take the money out is to make money and take out your profits. That's just brokers in general. If you put in 30,000 and you lose 20, they're not going to give you that 20 back, guys. I'm sorry. I wish. That'd be fantastic. Grog says, basically, I was asking for members, testimonials, and reviews other than people wanting refunds or early investment. I want to know their experience of trading through the fund. There's plenty of people, Grog, that you can ask in Slack. You're welcome to reach out to people who trade. Ryan Case is here. He's traded through it. I wonder if Andrew Foster is here. He's traded through it. There's a few other traders who've done it. Ken says, do we get the trading room with your purchase? No, sir. You do not. Because I don't want it to be, how do I say this properly? It's not mandatory. I don't want you to think that you have to be a part of real life trading to go through this. Some people don't like me at all. Right? Some people, they don't like me even a little bit. And so I don't want to make them go through the room and, you know, trade with me if they don't want to. So, Ken says, if we're in another room, it's okay. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be a part of real life trading. It's fine. You're exactly right. That's why I did it that way. So it does not include the trading room because that would open up a whole can of worms, right? If I'm like, oh, and plus it comes with the trading room, they're like, well, I don't want the trading room. Can I get it for cheaper? I'm like, well, no, you know, that would. So anyway, it's like, all right, here it is. Here's what it is. You can get in if you want. All is good. I think we're getting most of the questions down. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones out there that other traders have asked that I don't have answered yet. So you can see these are the videos that you get, by the way, when you purchase. And if I've skipped over any videos, you're asking a lot of them, so re-ask. It's great. AP says, could you talk about what if you don't want to be frozen? If you made some money, let's say 300, and also lost some, less than an hour, and want to continue for the day. That's fine. You can trade AP as much as you humanly want to, as long as you don't lose a lot of money. So it's all about risk, my friend. It's all about risk. So if your cutoff is 300 bucks, just remember that there is commissions, right? I mean, if you're trading through an exchange, you have to trade through commissions. And yeah, I mean, all I'm saying is if you trade 400 times a day and you don't make any money, you're going to spend a lot of commissions. Is it really worth it? I guess is really the main thing I'm trying to bring up. Gary says, how long can we take a break from trading before our account expires and we lose 25? That's a really good question, actually. I did not address that, so Gary, thanks for bringing that up. And I'm sorry if I gloss over this. You can freeze your account. You can freeze your account. I do it often. If you have to go on a vacation or something, and you're like, hey, can you freeze it for a week or something? Yeah, you can freeze your account for a week or a month. You can't do it for like 7 months, but yeah, you can freeze your account if you're going on vacation or whatever it is. Bruno says, do you help support? Can we be a part of the trading room? Yep, so you can be a part of the trading room, my trading room, or another trading room. Everyone who is a part of this fund, I have their personal cell phone numbers. And I usually chat with them at least once a week to make sure everything's going cool. Or if they're in the fund, I try to chat with them or just check up on them. Just to, hey, you doing all right? You know, doing cool? So there's no penalty for freezing it. No penalty. Just put it on hold. Sherry said, do our trades have to be reviewed before we allow to trade them each time? No. No one's looking over your shoulder. You can place whatever you want. Just don't lose a lot of money. Which is good, right? That's all that matters. AP says, can you freeze at the go so we get the current pricing and start trading later? So if you purchased right now, you could start trading in March if you really wanted to, and there would be no fees associated with it. So if you sign up right now and you want to go through all these classes 40 times over, right? I mean, there's a lot of good classes here. You got route selection. These are actual classes showing you how to take the trades, right? So there's a lot of good classes here, a lot of good content, and these are all my classes right here. And I'm gonna update these actually very, very soon. What was I trying to say? So anyway, freezing, yes, you can purchase it for right now and to avoid the increase in cost, and start trading later in March if you want, totally. I mean, most traders purchase and then they start trading 2 to 3 weeks later. All right, it's entirely up to you. Kenneth says, we pay, during freeze, we pay the daily fees. No, that's the point of the freeze. That is the point of the freeze. Mr. Wynn says, I wish I'd known about this program before I blew up 20K on crypto. I know, man, I'm so sorry. I truly do apologize. If you want, I also do have a cryptocurrency program, Mr. Wynn, where I can assure you it's the absolute best on the internet, and I will teach you how to never do that again. It's all about risk. So I do have a cryptocurrency program as well. It's very good. Oh, so good. AP says, does the setup go through you or do we go through the fund? Does the setup go through you? So, I mean, I'll be helping you along the way. AP, yes. I'll be helping you along the way. Jose says, do you recommend to go full-on day trader once you started seeing positive growth? How much of a positive growth? No. Don't go full-on day trading. You're not ready for it. Not you personally, but most people are not ready for full-on day trading. It's very, very difficult. If you have a job or any other kind of stream of income, give this 2 to 3 years. Give this like 2 to 3 years of work. This is not an immediate get rich, none of that. This is purely a grind. But if you can put in 2 to 3 years and you can follow step-by-step process, pull out a little bit of money every month, pay off your credit cards, get better, and slowly build your funds to day trade with, right? Go from 30 over 2 to 3 years, and let's say you get to 50, right? Which doesn't require a lot of positive growth, by the way. You can make like 3K and go from 30 to 50. 30 to 50, you can make 3K. So you make $3,000 additional and you got 50. So, I mean, it's, you know, you can get bumped up pretty quick. Sherry, the free trial is just email me if you want a free trial, and you just get access to the actual platform to try it out, like the Revo, the actual broker. Richard says, webinars on crypto explaining it prior as well, just checking for another one. Yes, on the crypto. Bruno says, is it real that you can day trade like 30 minutes and you're done, like the opening? If you're very good, Bruno, yes. If you're very good at day trading, you can do that. It requires years of practice. And what it requires years of practice is really and truly nailing the sentiment of a gap, knowing how to get in and knowing how to get out very quickly. The platform is plenty fast. Don't worry about that. Oh, yes. Okay, Bruno, thank you. That brings up a good point. So this, through the fund, this broker is an execution broker. Have you guys ever heard of one of those before? It's exactly like DAS. Yes, AP, it's exactly like DAS. It's a direct access system. So it's not DOS, but it is direct. It's exactly like DOS. So DOS, DAS, stands for Direct Access System, meaning it is faster than any other broker you've ever used. It is a direct to the market. The vast majority of other brokers, and we talk about this in the program, are what's called introducing brokers. Okay, TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, E-Trade, those are all introducing brokers, which means there's a middleman between you and the markets. They introduce your orders to someone else in milliseconds, and they get to decide if they want to bet against you or not. This is an execution broker, which means if you buy 100 shares at market, ladies and gentlemen, there is no preview button. There is no, are you sure you want to do this? You buy or sell and you're in. Woo! Man, you want to get in, you are in, my friend. There is, oh man, there's no waiting. Real fast. So yes, you can build hotkeys. What's done is done when you click the button, says Richard. That's so true. And that is one of the reasons why I have mentioned to many traders, have a rule in your plan to read every order aloud. Right? Type in a 2 if you remember me saying that. The reason is because you can press an extra 0 real quick. Sherry says, are the stock prices up to the second on this platform? Of course. Absolutely. The millisecond, in fact. It's very, very fast. A direct access system. So that's the reason you want to read your orders aloud, because guys, the speed of this, I mean, unbelievable. So quick. So that's why you want to read your order aloud. Don't accidentally buy 1,000 shares or 10,000 or whatever it is. GW says, what you just described is a disadvantage of an execution broker. However, is there an advantage that we will notice with having an execution broker? I think that's an advantage and disadvantage. It's an advantage and disadvantage. It's a live pro and con. So that's like me telling you, hey Gary, you want to buy a new car. It's a really fast car. It goes 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds. Is that an advantage or disadvantage? Up to you. If you slam the gas and run into a light pole, disadvantage. You know? So yeah, the speed, I mean, it makes you pay attention. You get access to your trades very quickly. It is a fantastic way to learn. So I do want to touch on that for just a second, and then we're going to talk about a few other things, but most of you already know this. If you wanted a very cheap way to learn how to day trade, this is also a pretty good option, choice, route. Because as I mentioned earlier, there are plenty of other courses out there that charge anywhere between 6 and 10 or 6 to 12,000 for this exact or very, very similar program. It's not exact because they don't have my classes, but they'll have their classes. So you pay 6 to 10 grand for their classes, and then they'll give you access into a fund, and you can trade with, you know, X amount of dollars, which is fine. That's cool. No worries. All is fine. There's another company. I won't name names. I won't name people, but there's another company that promotes an offshore fund in the Bahamas, and they offer 1 to 6 margin. Right? They offer 1 to 6 margin. Which means if you put in 3,000, you get 18,000 to day trade with. So plenty of other competitors out there. AP says, don't do that. Yes, I wouldn't really suggest that. Hey, it's offshore, it's in the Bahamas, it's up to you. Just be very sure that the people you trade with are reputable. This fund obviously based in the States, based out of Michigan. The SEC attorneys have looked over everything. I mean, it's as legit as it gets. It's all about, can you make money trading? That's what this comes down to. It's all about, can you make money trading? If you can make money trading, this is a phenomenal way to split up your funds and crush it. And again, this also provides a really good way to focus. And as Garang is mentioning, actually, again, very good point. It's easy to lose a lot of money day trading, a lot more than 3,000. So at least this way, that's all you can lose. Exactly. You won't get tempted to do anything else. And that's why I mentioned earlier, I had one guy who had over 100,000 who asked me if this product was good for him. I thought about it. I was like, you know, yeah, because with $100,000, what is his R, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I mean, it wasn't exactly this number, but what? Yeah, his R could be 1,000, right? That's 1% of his account. So if he took 3 trades and lost $1,000 each, which could happen in minutes, he's already down 3 grand. And the broker's not going to stop anything. They're not going to kick him out, nothing. So this is a phenomenal way to at least get that experience for very inexpensive costs. I can say this because I am 100% confident of this fact. This is the cheapest, least expensive method to do this on the internet. This is it. I'm not saying cheap automatically equals not good. I'm simply saying that I don't take a $7,000 cut, which I could. I'm a great salesman, right? A few of you would buy that tonight, but I don't want to. That's not my motive, my motif, whatever. That's not my mission. Okay, my mission is to enrich lives. My mission is to break down the financial barrier that holds people back between trading the stock market. No one here should have a problem with $2,500. Right? No one here. I mean, I came out with $2,500 when I was like 18. Lost it all, no big deal. It's not a life-altering sum of money. If you lose 20 grand, that's a life-altering sum of money. So, simple as that, guys. I mean, it's, yeah, if you lose it, so what? I mean, I'm sorry. It sucks. I know it's upsetting, but $2,500, you know. Yeah. I did it 3 times. You know, it is what it is. Bruno says, do you have plans to change the price? Yes, March 1st. March 1st. And I will do it March 1st. Someone asked a very good question. Steven Sertolia says, do they automatically close out your position if you drop below 28 grand? Yep. You drop below 28, and again, it's not to the exact dime, but if you get to like 27,985 or something, I mean, it's, again, there's no hard feelings. You're not going to get a phone call from me yelling at you or anything. It's like, it's just a very, hey, you know what? You didn't quite make it this time. It's okay. Try again later, man. No worries. It's all right. You got this. Richard Reynes says, but if you take your 25 and use your 30K and make $1,000 a month, you can pay off some bills. See, Richard's thinking this through. It's exactly correct. $30,000, and again, let's just talk real life stuff for a second. With 30 grand, you could take that, and let's say you make 3 to 5 R's a month, and your R is $100. You're making $300 to $500 a month. That's not that bad. It's not that bad. 3 to 5. That's a car payment, right? Not too shabby. Michael, I got you. Let me answer that question in just a second. If you don't have any debt, you should go hug your mom right now. Tell her that you love her, because that's a beautiful place to be in life. Not saying she bought you out of debt. I'm just saying hug your mom, because that's a fantastic place to live, and can't be too happy being out of debt. I mean, that's a phenomenal thing. So if you don't have any debt, that money can go directly into whatever it is that you're trying to do. So for me, when I finally figured this out, right, I started putting money aside and I bought a condo. All right, I bought a cheaper condo, and I took that condo and then I rented it out. Right, and I started getting $100 of cash flow from that condo. And I mean, then I started doing the real estate thing, you know? So if you don't have any debt, phenomenal. Pour that gasoline on the gas and go faster. So that's kind of my thought. AP says 11 times 20 per day for the $500 a month, or is that before $11 a day? I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but let's say, for example, let's say you paid $11 every single day of the month. It would only be $341 every single day. But again, your goal is, if that's 31 days, your goal obviously is to make more than that every single month. So, you know, to make more than $100 a day. That's a good goal, or to make more than $11 a day. Whatever it is, whatever your initial goal, my suggestion is try to focus on that $11 And I don't know. I mean, try to make the $11 a day and then just slowly grind from there. Because if you can cover that, then you're good. All right, if you can cover that, you can trade a long time. Now, Michael says, how would you day trade with a 9-to-5 job? Would you just set up trades the night, morning before? Very good question. It's tough with a 9-to-5. It depends on what your 9-to-5 is. But my friend, I would check out the ability to trade from work. You probably can't, but it's a possibility. Right? Bring in a hotspot and, I mean, you know, when I worked at I worked at Nationwide for a while, and I had like a hotspot. This is when they first came out through Sprint, and I brought in a separate computer, and I got in trouble for it. Okay, fine, couldn't do that. So I started changing my work schedule. Right, I started shifting my life around how I could trade. Simple as that. I mean, so the answer to your question is no. If you have a strict 9-to-5 job, this is not going to work for you unless you can trade from work. Simple as that. Unless you can trade from work, don't do this. But I would say change that work schedule, man. If you know, work the schedule that you want to work and figure out how to make life alter around your awesomeness. So, anyway, that's just my thought. Gronga says, what questions should we be asking that we haven't asked yet? I think they're still coming. We've been at it about an hour right now, and they're still coming through, so I think we're doing good. AAP says, do the routes work PM, post-market, and after hours? After a few months of trading, yes. You can trade PM and AH, post-market, and after hours if you want to. You do have to get approved for that because, as you know, the liquidity is a problem pre-market and after hours. But you can, sure. You just have to get approved. You're not going to be able to do that initially. Leonardo says, could you buy a stock with a $30,000 and combine it with option for my money in the same account, like if I put in the account with 10 grand? So you can't buy options in that account at all. So you could take a trade in one account for $30,000 if you want. And then the other account over here, if you have $10,000 in that account and you want to trade the exact same stock, sure. You can do it both ways if you wanted to. That's fine. But you can't do it in the same account because you can't trade options in that account. Gronk says, what is a route? A route is the ability to buy and or sell through certain market makers or exchanges. There's actually a lot of exchanges and market makers that you have access to. If you go to Thinkorswim, for example, and you go to trade, and you're looking at actually taking or placing a trade, or any broker, it'll say exchange. You have a CBOE, Amex, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, BATS, ARCA. There's a lot of other exchanges out there you can use. So a route is the direct path to an exchange to buy or sell. JB says, do they calculate the daily platform fee at the end of the month, or do you see $11? It's daily. Yep, it is a daily thing. Because, the reason that is, JB, is because you can get rebates each day. So let's say that you're just an absolute slayer, which I got some crushers who trade in this thing. People who make a lot of money. If you make $500 or more a day, you actually make $550 a day because you get that rebate. So that'll get updated every day. Now that's unlimited. So if you make 50 grand in a day, you still only get $50 of rebates. But again, the rebate's just there as an incentive. So it cuts off. $50 is as much as the incentive goes. Bruno says, how much is the rebate? I'm confused. It goes up to $50, Bruno. AP says, is it a prop shop? Nope, it is not a prop shop. I've traded one of those, but it is not a prop shop. Nope. Someone asked earlier, do you need a Series 56 to go through this? No, that's why this is created. Series 56 is for a prop shop or proprietary trader. This is not a proprietary fund, a proprietary trading system. This is an actual hedge fund, asset allocation. Man, we're getting to the end. This is good. Other ways, so let me just explain it while the questions have calmed down, while you guys think of some more. Other ways to trade with $25,000 or less. Day trade. You can day trade cash. Okay, and you can trade in a cash account until the money is gone. That's one way, right? Don't have a margin account. So don't have a margin account, have a cash account, and you can trade as much as you want until the cash is gone. That's one way. So if you have $10,000 and you take a day trade and that day trade costs $7 grand, you got $3,000 left over. Once that $3,000 is gone, then you're good to go. You're done for the day. You can also day trade options in a cash account. Same exact principle. So if you have a cash account and you have options, then cool. And really the only other way is if you do have a margin account. My suggestion is just take very few trades. Trade on a Monday, trade on Friday, trade on Wednesday. Here is for a long time before I figured this out, this was kind of my plan, my schedule looked just like this. So this would be my month, for example. If you just trade less, you have a Monday, Friday. Okay, that's a 5-day period, 2 trades. I wait for the one trade to fall off, I trade on a Wednesday. That third trade will fall off by the next Tuesday. Then I trade on a Thursday, then I trade on the Monday, and then that's my 3 trades in 5 days. And then, sorry, I had a sneeze attack. And then I have to wait a few more days until that Friday again for one of those trades to fall off, and then same way. So I would do Monday, Friday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday. Monday, Friday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday. That was my system until I figured this out, learned all about this stuff. That was years and years ago. But then you just don't take that many trades. Or obviously you can swing trade or do other things. Even if you swing trade and you don't mean to become a pattern day trader, that's usually actually how it happens. You get into 4 swing trades, they all go wrong on the same day. You buy and sell, everything goes wrong, and you get flagged as a pattern day trader. AP, as mentioned earlier, you pay in a 1099. You pay 1099. So I know that's a lot of info. We've been going at about 1 hour and 15 minutes now. The simple fact is there are not many ways to day trade with less than 25 grand. If you do it in a margin account, that is all you can do. What I have on the screen, that's it. Seriously, there's no other way. All right? That is the only thing you can do. You just don't take a lot of trades. If you have a cash account, you can trade until the cash is gone. Fine, but you can only trade so many things. Otherwise, this is a possibility. This is a possibility. JB says, can we set up the account with a max loss amount per trade where it will auto sell? Also, max daily loss. Do we decide these amounts or does the fund? JB, so you can set that up, yes. You can dictate what it is for you before you start trading. But the fund will decide the amount initially if you don't, which is $500 per day. $500. There's still tons of you here. Let me sign in. If anybody wants to sign up for this right now, let me send you the link. If you're like, I'm in, I'll send you a link to sign up. Again, you have to sign in to the Real Life Trading website. This is my non-paid account. Jose Sierra is awesome. Got to put in the email and the right password. All right, click on this. And I should have had the link ready to go, but again, I wasn't really planning on doing that. Open up in a new tab. And here's the store. And again, this is just a secure site on the website. This is where you pay. You sign up, put everything in here, and you're good to go. Richard says, all standard orders available, OCO, stop losses, etc. Yep. Jose says, how much back training do you recommend for proper strategy execution? I mean, the more the better. There's really no limited amount. I would say if you have traded for 3 months and you've practiced and paper traded and you're profitable for 3 months trading, however it is, day trading, fake trading, virtual trading, whatever, that's at least a start, and that would be kind of the cutoff, I would say. So if you got 3 months under the belt, you're doing pretty well. JB, yep, mentioned that earlier as well. The fund does have a simulator account you can test the platform on. Correct. AP, I'm on my Mac, as I mentioned earlier. So I don't have access to that on the Mac, but you can, if you do access it, there's plenty of visuals in the actual product itself. But AP, you seem to be very knowledgeable, so it's going to be exactly like DAS if you've used DOS before. You know what this is. This is the exact same thing you've used before in the past. All the questions you're answering all the questions that a pro who have done this before would ask. Garanga says, but you need a TPC to test the simulator, correct? That is correct. Yep. Correctamundo. Any other questions? Garanga said, with this platform, we're going to tablet. As long as it's not if it's an Android, and it has an operating system, yes. AP says, how much do you do hand-holding? That's a good question. It depends. If you are in the day trading room, a lot. If you're not in the day trading room and you don't reach out to me, I won't know that you need help. So as far as getting you into the fund, onboarding, all of that stuff, I'm always there. I'm always there to email. AP, you probably noticed this, but if you ever email me, I email you back within 24 hours. That's just the way I roll for the last 7 years. I think you guys can all attest to that. I mean, guys, my literal freaking cell phone number is in, the Retire on 3K. It's right here. I'll show you all again. It is all, my cell phone number is right here. I've put it on the internet. There it is, right there. There's my cell phone number. So I'm not afraid of contact, is what I'm saying. I'm not going to hide behind a door. Right? If you want hand-holding, let me know how much you want, and the more time and the more intensive you need, the more I'll charge. It's that simple. But that's okay. That's with everything, right? That's with everything. If you want me to hold your hand, you want to work out together, you want to trade together, let's do it. I'm happy to do it. You can come down to Nashville, we can trade together. But the more you want me to hold your hand, the more it'll cost. That's all. No big deal. Yvonne says, can Canadians use this? Woo! Good question. Yes. Canadians can. There are a lot of other countries out there, obviously. I do not know of all the ones that can and cannot access this. So if you are an international student, and I say international meaning you're not in North America, so you're not in Mexico or Americas or Canada. If you're in Europe or something, I'm pretty sure England can get into the fund. I'm pretty sure Australia, but I don't know of all the countries. So if you're in a country and you want access to this, email me and I'll let you know. But if you're in Canada, yeah, absolutely. Michael says, within 24 hours, I try. Jose says, Surface Book 2. I think you could do it on a Surface Book, yes. If it has an operating system, they can download it. What I could do is I could tell you, you could email me for the trial, and you can see if it works on Surface Book 2. I don't truly know. I don't have one of those, but it doesn't work on an iPad. I know that. Also, there is no app for this, like cell phone app. So no cell phone app. You can't do it from your cell phone. Jose, email me, and I'll get you set up for the trial. There is a waiting list, so just email me. Email is jeremy@reallifetrading.com. You can message me on Slack, Jose, and we'll go from there. Ken. email me about mainland China, if you don't mind. I do not know. Yeah, and that's a very valid question. So just email me all that stats, because I know if you're using your US system with TradeStation, you're using a VPN, email me all that info. I will reach out to the team tomorrow and I'll find out. Don't be offended if the answer is no, but it's probably no. I'll find out. Andy says, I guess I can't day trade at work then if I can't be on my phone. Nope. That is correct. So it doesn't work on a cell phone. We're getting close to the end. I think most of your questions have been answered. This is exciting though. There's still 57 of you here. If you're quiet and you're just scared, don't know what questions to ask, let me know. Sherry, it does not work on a Kindle. No. No, Kindles don't have, well, I'm not going to go into the tech specifics. I actually have no idea, but it doesn't really work. Karanka says, I'm not clear on what the trial involves. The trial is just a broker platform that you download that you can practice on. So you get an idea of how it works. That's literally it. You just download, it's like a virtual trading broker software. Download, you practice, and that's it. And he says, can you call my boss and see if he'll let me day trade at work? Dude, you tell me your boss's name and phone number, I'll call him. I'll either get you fired or I'll get you a raise. That's how that's going to work. You get to flip a coin. You'll either get a raise or you'll get fired. One of those two. YOLO, exactly. Garanga said, if we pay but we do not trade, is there a refund period? Sorry if you answered this already. I did. As long as you do not trade, I can get you a refund. Once you start trading, there are no refunds. Does that help, Garanga? So not within a certain time period. Once you start trading, like if you do it 5 months, it's going to be it's going to be very difficult. If you sign up 3 weeks later, you've never traded, you want to cancel, that's fine. If you sign up, you start trading, there is no going back. There's nothing we can do. Once you're in, you're in. You're in the wild west of the markets. Ryan says, my boss was actually interested when he caught me trading at work, LOL. That's what I'm saying. If you want me to talk to your boss, you'll either get fired or you'll get a raise, my friends. That is the way that will work. Oh, that's rich. Darren says, start talking about Walmart. Walmart, what a gorgeous gap down. Look at this 5-minute chart on Walmart. What a beauty. Look at this 5-minute candle. As soon as it opened, right there, the stop right there. That is my favorite. That is my favorite pattern. Desiree says, sign up, cancel after 3 months, is that okay? I want to be sure I'm successful for 3 months and paper trading. I'm just going to say no out of principle, because I don't want to hold your money for 3 months in a separate account. So I would say, if you haven't started paper, and again, I'm just being honest, Desiree, I don't want that responsibility. Because that's, I mean, $2,500 of your money that I'd have to hold it in reserve. You know, if you decide to cancel, and I have to refund you. You know, because other people got in and they put their money in. Does that make sense? So, if you sign up for 14, 20, a month, whatever, and you're not, that's fine. But 3 months, nah, I can't do 3. 3 is a little long. No one else in the world will do like 3 months on just about any kind of purchase. It's a long time. But I can say, I mean, you know, like I said, the price is only going to go up to $29.95. So if you're watching this in the future and you missed out on the $25.75, sorry. But $29.95 is still not that bad at all. We can all agree on that, right? That's solid. That's not bad. $29.95, that's about what I just spent on a new couch. A nice big sectional. It's it's not that much. Leonardo says, great opportunity. Thanks for sharing. Man, no, thank you. Guys, this was fun. This is the first time I've been here. This was really cool. I probably should do more Q&As at some point. I thought about doing that in the past where I just show up and I have a webinar and there's literally no objective. I go, hey, what questions do you guys have? Type in one if that sounds even remotely appealing. I can do that at some point. I just show up and go, hey, what questions do you have? And I just start answering them rapid fire. Drake's throwing a lot of ones. Okay, cool. Bruno says, can I pay twice and get 60,000? Yes, you can. Kenneth says, Jeremy, thanks again for your straightforward approach and honesty. You're welcome, man. My pleasure. You're very welcome. So there's a lot of ones, a lot of entries. Okay, cool. I'll do that in the future. Just have an open Q&A forum. I get bored one night. Hey, what do you guys want to do? Let's talk about stuff. What's your questions? And I'll just answer them to the best of my ability. Kind of like a podcast. Desiree said, thanks for sharing your knowledge. Oh, no, my pleasure. You're very welcome. Now, truly, guys, this was very fun. If you're watching this recording, thanks for sticking around for the whole 90 minutes. For those who are here live, and again, I know this was a lot of info. This was the first time that I've ever done this, as you guys might have known. I don't want to come across like everyone else. And by everyone else, I mean all the other trading companies out there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really want to come across that way. So this is the first time I've ever pumped this up in a big way. I think you guys, for those who've been around for a while, know that. I've never had a webinar like this. So just mostly because it's there on the website if you want to access it. I don't push stuff, right? We love trading. I love you guys. I want to enrich lives. I want to help you. I want to grow with you. And I just had so many questions about this via email every single day. I was like, man, let me just make a video on it. So I finally got a chance to do that. And I just appreciate your time. Ryan, thanks, man. That makes me feel good. You guys make me feel good. Woo! I'm pumped up. I'm about to go curling with my girlfriend again tonight. We went one night. She loved it. She convinced me somehow to go again after this class. So I'm all jazzed up. The Winter Olympics are on. About to go curl. Curling. Like throwing granite stones on ice and sweeping the ice and hoping it lands in the bullseye. Richard says, let her win. You guys are awesome. All right, folks, I'm out. Have a great night. And until next time, love life, live life, and trade. Bye. All right, boys and girls, that about sums it up. If you have any other questions from there, just email me at jeremy@reallifetrading.com and I will be assisting you with those questions. Now, there are some other videos below. Those are just day trading videos, kind of showing you how much buying power it is going to cost you in certain situations, and of course, just going through the amount of shares and other fun-filled things. So, if you are interested in joining the fund from here, just simply go all the way down to the bottom, sign in, click that red purchase button, and dive right in. The procedures from there are pretty simple. As mentioned in earlier videos, once you sign up, you go through this particular page right here. You'll see that all the videos are locked. There is a password that you input for each video to watch. And once you do that, you go through as many videos as you want. You click that button right there. You take the test. Once you take the test, I'll be sending you a certification letter letting you know that you passed. And once you do that, I send you to the onboarding team, and it's about a 3 to 5 business day process to get you all in, ready, locked, and loaded. I love it. I hope you enjoyed this content. Thank you so much for being a real life trader, and thank you for helping us enrich lives. You are amazing. I'll see you later. Bye.